In today's episode, I'll be speaking with Sandra Dzankovic, Operations Director for AHEPA Independent Senior Living. I'm Olga and this is AHEPA Senior Living. So I read your biography on AHEPA Senior Living's website, where it said you pursued a career in senior living and gerontology early on. So my question is, Sandra, and I'm so happy that you're here. How did your background as a CNA influence your approach at AHEPA Senior Living?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, Olga. I'm very excited to be here
Happy
also.
you're here.
I became a CNA when I was 16 years old. That stands for Certified Nursing Assistant. So my first job ever was as a nursing assistant in a nursing home, trying to help take care of our most dependent senior citizens that we have. And
Wow.
it had a profound moment for me because that's where I learned that I have a passion for it. And I knew that I wanted to, from the age of 16, I knew that I wanted to do whatever I can to improve the lives of senior citizens around me. And I've never done anything else.
Wow. That's remarkable. Can you share your journey from being a property manager in Iowa to a director of operations for independent senior living?
Yes, absolutely. So I started with AHEPA Senior Living uh, almost exactly 10 years ago in August of 2014. And I started as a property manager at AHEPA 192, 2 and 3 apartments in Ankeny, Iowa. And I was a property manager for 5 years, and I loved every minute of it. When I was being hired for a position, the person that was interviewing me asked myself, she was a regional director, and she asked me, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I looked at her and said, in your shoes.
Oh, wow.
And lo and behold, exactly 5 years later, the position opened up, and I jumped into it with my heart and soul. I knew that I wanted to expand my knowledge and learn more things and do bigger things for AHEPA Senior Living.
When you were Region 2 director overseeing 17 properties, what were some of the key challenges that you were faced with on the daily?
So my challenges were very unique in a sense that I became a regional director about 3 days before the country and the world was shut down with COVID.
Mm,
So it made it specifically challenging because biggest part of the regional director's job is to travel and oversee the properties and the residents and the employees. And I was overseeing 17 properties, like you mentioned, in 5 different states, from California to Texas to Iowa to Minnesota to New Mexico, and I wasn't able to travel. So my biggest challenge was not being. I'm one of those people. I learned by doing. I learned by it not so
being-
great being engaged,
right.
absolutely. And the hard that literally I got promoted in March of 2020. So that for me, that was specifically hard. But there was a lot of video calls, a lot of Zoom calls, but the whole country was on hold. It wasn't just me. Uh, when that got better, I think for me specifically, I think I absolutely loved being a regional director, but my specific region was literally for half of the country because we have these sporadic properties that are
Right.
on most of them are on East Coast, and then these 17 properties that are kind of spread all throughout. And for me, that was the hardest. Once I learned my team and knew the properties, it got much easier.
Nice. I can only imagine taking a job like that and the world shutting down. That is unbelievable. It was hard for all of us. And then also what was going on around the world.
Mhm.
Um, during that time, specifically with the elderly, right? Yeah,
Especially with the
right.
seniors. And, we were in such a kind of like a vacuum because there was so much concentration on nursing homes and assisted livings.
Right,
It was all about seniors, and that's all you heard about, right?
right,
And then there's regular population like us, and our seniors kind of fell in this gap because they were seniors, but they lived independently, so they were not getting the resources and being taken care of like people in the nursing homes and assisted living by the government and the state and the country. But let's be honest, it wasn't as easy for them. It was much scarier than it was for, younger families, younger people in good health in their younger years. It was very hard.
right. I can only imagine having to deal with all that. Wow. So I commend you for that. I also read from your biography that you managed an Alzheimer's care unit. That takes a lot of empathy and patience. What did you learn from that experience?
What I have learned is that you can, it's not just within the Alzheimer's care unit, it's with seniors generally. Every day is different. You can never anticipate what is going to happen because it probably will not be what is going to happen. So you kind of have to take it one day at a time, one task at a time, and give it your all. And don't plan ahead too much because it's probably not going to go the way you intended to.